Thank you for watching the Nature Center show. My name is Michael Price. I'm the director of the San Angelo Nature Center. Today I want to talk a little bit about the one species of salamander that's found right here in the Concho Valley. Now, salamanders belong to a group of animals known as amphibians. Other amphibians include frogs, toads, and newts. Now, salamanders, like other amphibians, are vertebrate animals, which means they have a backbone or a spine, just like mammals, birds, fish, and reptiles. That spine extends from the base of their skull to the end of their tail. Various bones are attached to that spine, such as the pelvic bone, which holds the legs, as well as multiple sets of ribs. Amphibians are also ectothermic, which means they receive their heat from outside sources. For example, if it's 98 degrees outside and I take a salamander outside, his body temperature will go up to 98 degrees. If I go outside when it's 35 degrees outside, his body temperature will drop to 35 degrees. That's different from birds and mammals, such as humans, whose internal body temperature is generated from the inside of our body. Our internal body temperature is consistent regardless of the outside temperatures. For example, if we go outside when it's 120 degrees outside, our internal body temperature is still 98.6. If we go outside when the temperature is 35 degrees, our internal body temperature is still 98.6. Now, the word amphibian actually means in Latin dual life, leading a double life. What that means is they get that name. I'll go ahead and cover this back up. They get that name because adult salamanders, like other amphibians, lay their eggs in water. As those eggs hatch, they develop into tadpoles. The tadpoles then develop legs. They swim around with gills until their lungs are functioning. Their frogs and toads begin to lose their tails while salamanders keep theirs. This right here is a barred tiger salamander, the larval form. Now you can see he's gotten his legs. He has the tail with a lot of fins on the top and bottom, as well as gills on the sides of his head. Now many people use these as fish bait. They're also known as mud puppies or water dogs. They're actually the larval form of the tiger salamander. They can be quite large, and they're very, very slimy. A lot of people think reptiles are slimy. Reptiles are not slimy. Amphibians, on the other hand, are very, very slimy. They almost have a gummy substance along their skin, and that secretion helps keep moisture in. They cannot live without being moist. Now, the larval form lives its entire life in water, or lives in water until it develops into a mature salamander. You see he's having a hard time breathing outside of the water right now. His lungs have not developed properly or totally, and so he's still relying upon his gills for oxygen. Now, as they mature, they lose those gills. Their tails become much less finned, and they begin to develop the adult coloration of a tiger salamander. You can see they're black with bright gold and yellow body stripes, hence the name tiger salamander. Now, many people in West Texas mistake these guys for Gila monsters. They will call them Gila monsters, which is a venomous species of lizard. These guys are not venomous at all. However, they are, again, just like the larval stage, are very slimy. They're very smooth to the touch, but again, very slimy, very gummy secretions that come out of their bodies. Again, that secretion is to help hold the moisture in. They have very small, beady eyes. They have 4 legs with 4 toes on each leg. And many of these can be seen after rains. They'll be crossing the roads after rains as they're out looking for puddles of water so they can breed and reproduce and make more baby tiger salamanders. Now, these actually are very good to have around as they feed primarily on underground invertebrates such as grubs, but they also eat insects, and they occasionally even eat small mice, nestling mice. Constantly on the move, they very rarely sit still, as you can see. Now, after touching any amphibian, you always want to wash your hands because the secretions that are put off by amphibians, toads particularly, can be poisonous. And if you touch your eyes or your nostrils or your mouth after touching these things, it can be very, very irritating, as so much so that it can cause temporary blindness. So you always want to be sure and wash your hands after touching any sort of amphibian. Thank you for watching the Nature Center show.